I'm honored to address this important Oxfam conference on one of the most urgent challenges of our time, the climate crisis. But today I also want to focus on something just as critical, how we respond to this crisis through democratic participation. For too long, decisions about our planet's future have been made behind closed doors, influenced by powerful corporate interests, disconnected from the voices of the people most affected. The climate crisis is not just an environmental issue, it is a democratic issue. And if we are to find just and effective solutions, we must rethink how we engage citizens in shaping climate policies. Otherwise, we will continue to have a climate apartheid. This is why we must build a permanent citizens' climate parliament, as I have recently proposed in a report to the Council of Europe, a fourth deliberative branch of government, a structured, institutionalized way to ensure that the voices of citizens are not just heard, but actively shape climate action. This is more than an experiment, it is a necessity. We've already seen the power of citizens' assemblies on climate in countries like France and Ireland and the UK and elsewhere, where ordinary people, given the time and resources, have proposed bold, ambitious policies often more progressive than those of traditional politicians. This tells us that when given a seat at the table, citizens are ready to take responsibility for their future, for the future of the planet. A permanent citizens' assembly would bring together diverse groups of citizens to deliberate on climate policies, an inclusive way of deliberation. Ensure that climate action is guided by science, justice, and democratic debate. Hold governments and corporations accountable for their commitments, and foster cooperation by connecting citizens' assemblies across borders. And it needs to be an ongoing and continuing deliberation, educating our public in the culture of participation, so important for our democratic health. The climate crisis requires continuous engagement, where citizens' voices shape decisions in real time. And governments need to recognize that citizen participation is not a threat, it is an asset. The wisdom of the collective is, in the end, more socially wise and responsible and efficient, more so than any individual expert opinion. The scope, the depth of the changes needed to move from a carbon-based economy to a carbon-free society are immense. They affect every aspect of our lives. This way, the way we produce, the way we consume, the way we move our transportation, the way we build our cities, from our agricultural sector to our use of AI, which consumes huge amounts of energy, what professions we develop, what research we invest in, how our tax structures and investment incentives change, how our educational systems prepare us to be citizens, building democratic communities resilient and not simply training us for jobs we do not know will ever exist, and of course our energy sector. All these are reasons why agency and ownership of this process is of absolute necessity. No top-down structures, no top-down processes can do this either effectively or with a sense of justice and democracy. Nor can we believe that authoritarians, so-called strongmen, live up to these challenges, as they are in truth not strong men, but men beholden to the concentrated powers of the few and the wealthy. That's why the climate crisis challenges us to rethink and deepen our democratic structures, to build a society or societies where decisions are made with people, not simply for them by some third party. This is a society that is stronger, more resilient, more capable, ready, and conscious of the challenges ahead. And Oxfam's work has shown us the deep inequalities that define the policies on climate crisis in a negative way. Those who suffer most often have the least political power. The emergence of super powerful oligarchs around the world, even in mature democracies, have hindered, either through lobbying or through corruption or through misuse of the powerful digital platforms they own, they've hindered any substantial measures to effectively deal with these challenges of climate. A permanent citizens' climate parliament would tip the scales, the power scales, in favor of the common good and the citizens. And it would ensure that all voices, especially the marginalized communities, indigenous peoples, and the future generations are represented in shaping the solutions we so urgently need. The challenge is immense, but so is the opportunity. By embedding citizens' participation at the heart of climate governance, we do more than fight climate change. We strengthen democracy itself. This is not just about saving the planet, it is about ensuring that the world we build is fair, just, safe, and inclusive, building a culture of democratic participation and resilience. Let's act together. My proposal, which you can find in 2 reports of mine to the Council of Europe, is to build a 4th branch of government, a permanent citizen parliament, a global institution for the people, by the people, to protect our shared future. The time for action is now, and I wish you all the success. Thank you very much.